Hi everyone, I am Sanjay Lad. Welcome to one more video of Special Biotonic. Now students, today I'll be discussing about a chapter called as Evolution. Now this chapter is important as far as your state board as well as NEET examination is concerned. Now the evolution can be defined as the formation of say complex organism from the simple organisms. Now students, we know that we can't really go in the past and study the way evolution must have occurred, but we can try to understand about the evolution by studying the fossil records, and even we can study the evolution by comparative anatomy by studying the organisms which are present around us. Now there are various theories put forth for supporting the evolution. Now those theories can be summarized as follows. Now as per special creation theory, it says that God has created the universe along with living organisms. Now second theory says that living things come from non-living things. Now this is not accepted by many biologists of previous time and even today's time. We don't accept biogenesis today. Then the third most popular theory is about biogenesis, which says that living things come from living things only. But this theory doesn't really say about how the first life came into existence. Now the next theory is about catastrophic effect, which says that due to say meteor or comet falling, the life on the earth can be destroyed and it gives the room for evolution of new life. But this theory doesn't say any or it doesn't give any clue like how the previous life was existed before catastrophic effect. And the last theory says that the life has not originated on the earth, but it has come from some other planets. So students, these are the various theories put forth by various scientists. Students, let us talk about the chemical evolution of life, or also called as self-assembly theory of life. Now this theory was formulated by Haeckel and developed by Oparin and Haldane. Now according to this theory, what it says is that the life has originated on the earth by combination of several chemicals through constant chemical reactions over a period of time. Now there are several steps involved in this chemical evolution of life, which can be summarized as follows. Now first is the formation of universe, galaxies and the earth. Second is the formation of simple compounds like ammonia, water, methane. Then simple organic compounds, complex organic compounds, formation of nucleic acids, formation of primitive cells and the first cell. So these are the various steps involved in this chemical theory. Let us see what are those steps in detail one by one. Now students, before we talk about say various points which are there in the chemical evolution of life, let us understand about the basic things which we know already. Now this information will certainly help us to make our concept more clear. Now we know that all living organisms are made up of say various biomolecules such as say nucleic acids, proteins, lipids, carbohydrates and inorganic compounds. Now we also know that these macromolecules or larger molecules are in turn made up of the smaller molecules such as say nucleotides, nucleosides, amino acids, fatty acids, glycerol, simple sugar, water and minerals. Now interesting part about this is that when we burn the cells, these organisms they give rise to basic elements like say carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, which are present inside the dried cells. Now this is very interesting. Now once you know about this flow of information from say cell to these elements present inside the cell, then understanding this chemical evolution of life is very easy. Students, with this information, let us see all the steps which are involved in chemical evolution of life. Now the first feature of this theory talks about the origin of Earth. Now we know that universe was formed around 20 billion years ago. As the temperature started decreasing, many galaxies were formed like Milky Ways, Andromeda and others. Now our solar system is a part of the Milky Way galaxy. Now galaxies are made up of many solar systems. Our sun is one solar system which include say sun at the center and the other planets like Earth, Mars and all. Now initially the Earth was having very high temperature, so most of the elements were present in the gaseous form. As the temperature started decreasing, Heavy were elements like say iron, nickel. They formed the core of the earth, whereas the elements like say carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, helium, they formed the surface of the earth. As initial atmosphere did not have oxygen, therefore it was said to be reducing type. Now, as the temperature started decreasing, the simple compounds like say methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen gas, ammonia, water vapors and H2S were formed. Now, further decrease in temperature led to accumulation of water from the atmosphere to the surface of earth, and that's how various rivers, ocean, streams were formed. Now, we know that for various chemical reactions, energy is required. So that energy was available in the form of UV rays, other radiations, lightning and volcanic eruptions. And various chemical reactions took place like condensation, polymerization, oxidation and reduction. Now here oxidation can be defined as say removal of hydrogen, and reduction can be say addition of hydrogen. Now due to these various chemical reactions, simple compounds like simple sugars, fatty acid, glycerols, purines and pyrimidines were formed. Now this further led to say formation of say larger compounds like say polysaccharides, lipids, proteins, nucleosides and nucleotides. Now we know that proteins are very important as far as say various chemical reactions are concerned. So formation of proteins were considered as landmark in the origin of life because they really enhance the rate of chemical reactions. Now students, there are further formation of the compounds like say DNA and RNA. Now these nucleosides and nucleotides will in turn form DNA or RNA depending on the sugars and the nitrogen bases. Now these molecules were self-replicating molecules. Now combination of this nucleic acids plus inorganic compounds and organic compounds were termed as protobionts. So protobionts are the prebiotic chemical aggregations with some properties of living things. So students, as per the Oparin and Haldane theory of chemical evolution, these simple compounds like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen by several chemical reactions over a period of time gave rise to the primitive cells called as what protobiont. So I hope you're clear with all these steps involved in chemical evolution of life. Now students, we need to understand the two terms here. One is Kosavetes and second is microspheres. Now these are two names of the scientists, Oparin and second is Sidney Fox. Now protobionts were called as Kosavetes by Oparin, whereas the protobionts were called as microsphere by Sidney Fox. Now if you see, the basic difference between Kosavetes and microsphere is that Kosavetes are lipoid type whereas microspheres are proteinoid type. Now any word ending with noid or oid is meaning like. Proteinoid, noid means like, so protein like is called about proteinoid, whereas lipoid means lipid like. So these Kosavetes were aggregates of hydrophobic compounds, whereas the microspheres were aggregation of say hydrophilic complexes covered by water molecules. Now we know that hydrophobic compounds are water hating compounds, so their complexes were not covered with say water as such. Now both Kosavetes and microsphere, they had a property of say growing in size, and because of their growth they became thermodynamically inactive, and that must have split into say smaller units. So this was resembling like say the division of cell type, not as such cell division but the division type property of living organism. Now these Kosavetes are less stable whereas microspheres are more stable, and these later on led to the formation of eubionts or the procells. Now students, eubionts later gave rise to say first cell or called as what the primitive cells. Now initially the cells were anaerobic, that is they were living in absence of oxygen. They were chemotropic, that is they must have derived their energy from various chemical reactions. Now these processes were either controlled by DNA or RNA. Students, if you compare the biochemistry of cell with the various steps involved in chemical evolution of life, you'll find the striking similarity. Interesting, isn't it? So once you know the biochemistry of cell, you can extrapolate that knowledge to the various steps involved in chemical evolution of life, and you can understand the concept very nicely. So this theory was put forth by Oparin and Haldane. I hope you are clear with this theory. Now this theory was later proved by Urey and Miller with a typical experiment. So in the next lecture we'll talk about Urey and Miller's experiment, and even we'll talk about the RNA world. So I hope you are clear with the concept of this chemical evolution of life. So I'll see you in the next video.